Mae Govannen, my Elven brothers and sisters, and today in the Gentle Musings of the Day, I would like to talk about a subject that was inspired by a gentle Elven sister I just met a very short while ago. She was one of the call-ins on our live demo of our new Elven radio show, and she was wonderful during the show, and afterwards we talked for a few minutes, and she brought up a point I had never thought about. So I thought I'd go ahead and bring it up today, and her name is Kashira. And she asked for me to let you guys know of a new Elven YouTube channel that she has created called the Arcane Athenaeum of Elven Sorcery. It's just started, so if you would please go support her, give her a like on her new video and subscribe. I'll give a link in the description when I post this. It's a wonderful little YouTube channel about Elven culture and how to manifest that Elven soul within you. So if you would please support her. Anyway, we were talking and she brought up a wonderful point. She brought up about how, I did a video not too long ago, and I actually talked about it in the last radio show episode where I talked about what is an elf. I thought, well, the first radio show, let's go ahead and talk about what is an elf. And it's mainly a topic about elves as far as, on a spiritual level, what is an elf? But she brought up a really good point. She said, well, what does an elf look like? Because with Peter Jackson, his greatest deal that he did, and I love his movies, and Disney and all, they've made elves to look like, by Western standards of beauty, tall and beautiful and blonde hair and blue-eyed. And that is by far not what an elf has to look like. So that's what I'm going to talk about for just a few minutes today. What does an elf look like? All right. Well, I wrote a book about a year ago called Elven Awakenings. You can get it on Amazon if you'd like. I'll have a link in the description below. It's a book about how to reawaken to your elven nature within you, and things like diet and culture and history and language. I talk a lot about that in their meditations, such elven healing. And one of the topics I cover is the history of elves around the world. All right, and one of the common themes that you see throughout the world is that elves are powerful beings. But one of the other things you notice is that they vary widely in how they look. Tall, short, skinny, grand, white, black, they're all different colors. But unfortunately in today's culture, especially in Western culture, they're just went to being these tall, beautiful beings. And that's just the outward appearance. So, what does an elf look like? Well, Tolkien actually talked about this a little bit. And a lot of people will say, well, Tolkien had them tall and beautiful and such, but he went even further than that. He actually went into describing how they were on the inside. For the Valar, for example, the Valar are the powers of the world. Amongst human history, they've been called gods, they've been called angels, but what they really are big brothers and sisters. They helped Eru manifest this world into being. Eru created the thought, and they sang it, and they came here and did the work. And they would often manifest themselves to us, because they can be invisible if they choose to. And they would often be these godlike looking creatures, giant or just beautiful, stunning, but they might also appear like Govannen might appear as a giant tree. And what Tolkien said was that these appearances that they show, it's no different than the clothes we wear. They can shed them at any moment and be there and show their true nature, which is pretty much invisible to us. They're just beings of light. But that's what you are. You are actually just a being of light, and this is just a manifestation of what's inside of you. But what's inside of you is the light, and the light is the elf. Tolkien went on to show it, Peter Jackson did, and other shows, where they show that elves, in their might, when they're actually doing something great, they often become these great shining beings of light. And it was apparent in Lord of the Rings movies and in the Hobbit. Galadriel in both cases. Galadriel was with Frodo at the mirror, and he tempts her with the ring. And she becomes this great, transforms into this amazing being of light. Didn't look like Galadriel anymore. And I know it's just a movie, but it is a good analogy, a good break point here to talk about it. And then she calms down and she looks and says, I will just be Galadriel, and go off into the west. And then when in The Hobbit she was fighting Sauron, and she became this great being of light and didn't look like Galadriel anymore. Because it's not the outer appearance that matters, it's the light within you that matters. I'm a follower of Zen. I'm an Elven Zen student. And the most important thing about Zen is that there is no such thing as enlightenment, no such thing as ignorance either. There is only the one light. That's all there is. In Elven, it's Alien Aquain. It means all is one. It's not I am one, or you are one, or we are one. It's all is one. There is only the one great mind. There is only Eru. We are simply different aspects of that. And it's for us to remember that, to realize our true nature, that we are the light. We're just an aspect of the light. And it's that light that is your Elven nature, is who you truly are. It's up to you what you manifest on the outside, but you are an elf. From the inside out. My favorite fairy and Elven artist would be Brian Froud. And then Wendy, his wife, is amazing at puppetry design. Brian Froud is considered, if not the leading, one of the world's leading artists on elves, fae, and things of that nature. And I've had the wonderful blessing, my wife and I, of meeting his lovely family many times over the years. We've been at the same festivals and such. And what a gentle soul, a very humble soul. And the paintings that he does, the artwork he does, and you can see it on YouTube. You can go to the internet, Brian Froud. And he says it's inspiration. It's from his heart. He's painting what he believes he sees as elves and fairies and other kind of fae and other kin. And you'll find that they are incredibly earthy. They are tall and short and skinny and fat and brown and black and white and green, shades of green, and all sorts of different colors. Because that's just their outward manifestation, but who they really are, what they really are, is that light shining from within them. They're just showing you an appearance that they feel like showing at that time. So you are an elf. And it shines from inside of you. The light inside of you is the elf. Whatever you're showing on the outside, that is a manifestation that you've chosen a long time ago, and it can be changed at any time. But that's not the elf. The true elf is the light within you that is one with everything. That is, all is one. There are 3 tasks that we are to accomplish in this life. Task number 1 is to realize your true nature. I use the word awakening, but it's really not. You're not asleep, you're not awake, you're not enlightened, you're not ignorant. You are simply one with the universe. And the greatest task that we can do in this life is to realize that, to remember that. All right, is to realize your true nature. The second task is to be of service. We are here to serve, because if we are all one, then when one suffers, we suffer, whether we realize it or not. And when one is in joy, we are in joy, whether you realize it or not. And the last task goes in line with that. Humans are often called the otters of the universe. I would prefer to say we are the elves of the universe, just aspects of the elven light of the universe. It's here for us to play, enjoy and explore. It's the most wonderful playground there is. And our task is to rejoice in that and be a part of it. All right. Well, I just wanted to talk about that, short of what does an elf look like? Well, it's you and me, and it's everyone else, but it's the light within us. And that's the same light in every single creature on this earth, whether you're a human or a bear or fish or bird. We are all elves. It's all the same light. All we have to do is remember that. Again, thank you, Kashira, and I will be back soon. I have a video that's coming out again on our healing nature or healing series, so I'll be coming out with that one either today or tomorrow. And also going to be updating you again, as I do it about once a week now, on all the great changes that are coming. The Elven radio show is approved. We ran the demo this Sunday. It went perfect. I'll talk about that here in a little bit on the next video. And the Elven, Fae, and Pagan marketplace is actually coming into being. That is very exciting, where we can all get together and sell our services or wares that we make in an atmosphere that is for us, and not get lost on Etsy and Facebook and all those others. All right, so I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Again, it's a joy talking to all of you, and all of you have a most blessed and gentle Elven day or evening. Namarie.